Hey guys, welcome back to the show. In this week's episode, we have an awesome conversation with David Carmi, an Instagram and TikTok content creator, where he goes up to people on the street, asking them what makes them confident. David's story is really incredible, really inspirational, and this conversation goes through all of it. We talk about the various challenges that are associated with content creating, going up to people on the street, dealing with social anxiety, dealing with rejection, and talking about authenticity and the role that it plays in creating an online community. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and let's get into it. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Content Theory, a Theorist podcast, the show where we dive into real-world challenges and success stories of content creation. I'm your host, Tzvi Simchon, and I'm joined today by our co-hosts, DJ Warga
Heyo.
and Asher Brooks.
What's up, everybody?
By the end of this episode, you'll learn all about real-world marketing challenges, uncover strategies that actually work, and hear from the people who are making it happen. Joining us today is our guest, David Carmi.
Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure to connect with you guys, connect with everyone that's making it happen, connect with DJ, Asher, Tzvi.
David, you are known for making viral content on TikTok and Instagram, going up to people, sometimes random, sometimes not random, on the street.
Majority random, excuse me.
Majority random, but asking them what makes them confident. You've amassed millions of views across all your platforms. So the question that we have for you is, David, what makes you confident?
My faith in God, straightforward. God gives me the ability to go out every single day, whether it's in the street, whether I'm connecting with friends, whether I'm making new friendships, and just to be myself and know that, number one, I'm not being scared of judgment from other people. Doing something that I'm passionate about. I have that vision. I have that intention. That's all from God. Who else gave that to you? Who else gave you that mindset? Everything that you have, everything that I've accomplished so far, I look at it from, it's a gift from God. God's giving me this gift to get out in the streets and actually inspire people with confidence, with good vibes, with good energy. And just really, really, the bottom line is getting out there and treating it as therapy for myself and making it happen. That's where I've won so much. And it just makes me feel like I've achieved and I'm a totally different person from 2 years ago till now, like not being able to walk in the street without thinking about the fear of John thinking about me. I remember my first time, or even my first several months of doing interviews, I realized that the fear wasn't approaching somebody. The fear was being perceived from the outside of like, oh, what is this person doing? Going up to someone with a phone, asking them whatever.
What a weirdo.
What a weirdo, exactly.
Right.
What a weirdo. That was the fear. And I realized like, I really had to sit with myself, whether it was with a journal or just sit at home and really go through it. And it didn't just happen overnight, but I had to be aware of what was the problem, what was holding me back if I wanted to get to that next level. So I really had to sit with that. And I told myself, if I want to get to that next level, if I want to get over that hump, I have to drop the fear entirely of what people are thinking about me.
So I want to get into your story a little bit because you have a really awesome story. Tell us how this is a new recent, part of your life that you're on and you're killing the game right now.
Thank you.
How'd you get into it? What's your story, man?
So growing up, I always say like an average teenager, average kid. I grew up in Brooklyn. Wasn't the best in school. Thank God I had everything I needed. But if we just go into the actual part of like the confidence, the connecting with other people, that wasn't my strengths. I didn't realize that right away. And that's what honestly made the problem worse because I didn't know what the problem was. So I was kind of living in a world where I was just boxed in by something. And it's hard. As a kid, you're not aware of subconscious versus conscious versus problems versus non-problems versus going through the motion to get you to the next level. Like, you need to be in this specific place to get you to there. I'm not aware of that as a kid. But it really wasn't until 4 years ago from today, August 30th, 2020, was when I was involved in a major car accident. Got hit by a fire truck. And that left me for a full year of bed rest, I wasn't able to work, and that was coming out of COVID, so I was kind of still, the world was kind of shut down still. But it really left me in a position to make a choice, either to say, screw life in a way where let me just sit and do nothing, or let me just make something out of this. Not only did this strengthen my relationship and faith with God, because it showed me that I just survived something so traumatic where 99.9% of people won't. So that showed me something. It woke me up. But also it showed me that I could make something out of this and I could use this as a way to better myself. And then just the constant consistency. I picked up journaling as a way to really get out of my comfort zone, really find my strengths, my weaknesses, what I want to do, what I don't want to do. And it led me realizing that confidence was my biggest struggle. And now, at this point in my life, I know that this is my struggle. So I'm not in that box anymore that I said previously when I was a kid.
Why do you think you struggled so much with confidence up until that point?
So like anything, everything really stems from childhood. And by all means, I don't blame this on my parents or how I was brought up. I think so many people do blame it on their parents. But think about it. Your parents are people. Yeah, you respect them. They're your parents. But at the same time, they're trying to do their best as well.
It's like a lack of a responsibility and accountability that a lot of people don't.
I had everything I needed growing up. My parents took amazing care of me. They still do. But to think why I struggled with confidence, I couldn't defend myself verbally, physically, mentally. I couldn't defend myself. There was no defense mechanism. I would just get taken advantage of. But I think now looking back, if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't be here. So a part of that, kind of to go back now to like going through the motions, to going to doctors, doing the physical therapy, journaling, you're still struggling. You're still home. You're still like, oh, what do I do? But at the same time, you're deep down, you're doing something to get you to that next level and get you out of this. But it wasn't until like several months in where a friend of mine recommended me, you know what, Dave, you should go to the streets of New York and ask people on confidence. Not specifically what makes you confident, but just on confidence in general, because street interviews was very, very popping at that period of time. So I rejected that immediately.
Why?
Because that was my biggest fear. Imagine me going in the streets with a phone and asking a stranger about their confidence. I mean, come on. But I really gave it some thought. And this is like genuinely what I did. I was like, I almost died in a car accident. What's the worst that could happen? And I took that to heart.
Your second life.
Yeah. No, for real. And it wasn't until September 25th it was, the 22nd of September of 2022, I did my first ever video. It was in Washington Square Park. And from then on, it was just a never ending game. It was from then till now, I never stopped. I kept going. And now I utilize it as therapy for myself. And I really use it to make better connections and do it for the right reasons.
How did you do it? What was like your first interview like?
It was what keeps you confident. It wasn't what makes you confident.
Is that video online?
Yeah, I
on your
reposted
account?
it recently, actually, at my 2-year anniversary.
Oh, I did see that.
We did see it.
That was
yeah.
last week, right?
Yeah, just got the pins and needles.
Ooh,
You know how that goes.
Take it out.
likes to shake it.
Yeah, with the crazy long hair.
Yeah, the
Completely
hat.
different fit.
Yeah.
Was that the same year that you were featured in Hypebeast?
No,
No. Okay.
the 2023 was.
Okay, fine.
So that was the year. But, it was a constant consistency part of it. And I learned that from bodybuilding, and working out just teaches you a lot. And I applied the same method as I did to working out to this now, doing street interviews and building a platform on social media. So here I am now, 2 years later, getting better, doing what I love, doing what I'm passionate about, but also realizing that I'm not in control. God's in control. And that's it.
What does your life look like now? What's the average day in the life of
Average
David
day in the
Carmi?
life for me is I typically try to get up around 6:30. I, brush my teeth.
We're getting really into details here.
Yeah, of course. This is exactly what I do.
Do you wash your
And
face or no?
I sometimes.
Sometimes. Yeah.
Brush my teeth, wash my face, throw on some clothes, some gym clothes. But I pray first. My morning prayers are the first thing I do before checking my phone, before doing anything. That's like the first thing that I physically do. Secondly, is after that, I would like make a coffee, have a banana, something quick, head to the gym, come back from the gym, shower, eat, post my first video of the day, which is now the only video day because I'm posting one video a day. And
And you usually edited that video the day before?
so, yeah, that video is, I would get to that, but that video is edited the night before.
Got it.
So after I post that video, I just like chill around. I scroll a little bit, see what's flowing on media, check people's stories, whatever. And then I head to Soho around early noon. I'm there till it gets dark. I do that. I come home, I eat, I chill, spend time with family. And then I just edit like a few videos because I'm very passionate about editing. And then I chill. My nights to eat, chill, vibe out.
It sounds like your day is kind of packed with things that actually bring your life meaning. Like, obviously the content that you're producing, I'm sure is very meaningful to you. Being with family. Do you think how does that feel for you?
Now it feels great. It feels great knowing that I come home to a place that's safe and a place that is comfortable, and I feel that I can get done, but with meaning. Family is something that's very important. Obviously you go through your phases growing up where you rebel, you're this, you're that, all that stuff. But now when you're looking at it from a much more perspective, it's a blessing.
What is it about your content that you find that people resonate so much with? Why do people like confidence?
Confidence is such a big word, but I think it's something that majority of people struggle with. Whether it's being social, whether it's taking a task upon yourself to do something, to create, to just do anything in general. I think as human beings, we're all driven to do something. So a lot of times we're always told by either parents or teachers or friends, like, oh, this will never be possible. This will never this or that, never that. But little do they know that that's ruining the person's confidence to go about doing something. So I think that's where people as a whole struggle with the word confidence. But at the same time, my content specifically is, and this is me as a person, I try to be as authentic as I possibly can and try to deliver as I am in person, as you see me on camera, as the same person, just to be very, what's the word, vulnerable?
I can attest to that. It really is.
Just, be chill. We're all human beings. And this is like something I want to tell to someone who may be 19 or maybe 25 or 30, who is in that phase now, who is struggling to create something. That feeling where you want to create something, but is really struggling with it. Is like there's three key things that I look for. Is number one, faith in God is number one. Number two is clear intention and vision on what it is you want to do. It's never going to be fully clear, but you have to have some direction. And number three is consistency. If you pile those three things in and knowing that you're not in control, that God's in control of everything you're doing, there is guaranteed success out of that. Because even if you succeed in that thing that you want to do or you don't, it would lead you to something else.
I love
Wow.
that. Yeah, I love that it's not just like you just happen to make videos about it. It's like something that is a driving force. It's an underlying theme in your entire life.
Yeah.
And it drives you. And it drives you not just in content creation, but like I'm sure in other aspects. What other aspects do you feel like that drive impacts?
Working out. I think that's like something that I'm very, very, very passionate about.
How long
And
have you been working out for?
6 years?
6 years.
6
Not
years
fair
now.
that you wore a sweatshirt today in sweatpants. We can't see.
Can't see the gains.
Dude, he has some serious
hidden now.
guns, bro. Check out
But
his
also
Instagram.
with like being in that accident, it also lost 30 pounds or 20 pounds of muscle.
Wow.
Being home for a year, not being able to train, it also you lose confidence from that. But realizing now that everything happened for the best, without that car accident, I wouldn't be here doing this.
Were you working out before the fire truck?
Yeah.
So do you see a difference like between like you're working out before and you're working out after?
better
Is it
now.
a different meaning, different vision, different
More
purpose?
meaningful now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's way more meaningful now. It's more purpose. It's not being stupid.
What do you mean? What was stupid about what you were doing before?
Oh, lifting crazy heavy and like not thinking about the cost of injuries. etc., etc. But now it's more of like, going through the motion, knowing that I'm working out to make myself feel better. And
Not
just,
for an ego that you're boosting. It's just for yourself.
Right.
no, before it was actually for an ego before. I was training just to like, oh, look at me. But now it's like more or less for myself, like inside, it's like within. And it's like speaking on within, confidence comes from within, true confidence. And I'm only speaking on this for myself. I'm not speaking for anybody else. As I became a more confident person, I noticed that I could sit in a room and not have to be the loud mouth. I can be quiet like that for however long. And if I do need to state something, I will, but I don't have to. I'm so comfortable with who I am inside that I don't need to deliver anything.
What is it about your content that works? It's a philosophy that, like I said, drives you. It drives pretty much every aspect of your life, I'd imagine. Of course, the content is driven by that theme. But what is it about your style content, going up to random people on the street and asking them what makes them confident? What is unique to that format?
So I think there's like two things that come out of that. It's number one, you're stopping a complete stranger, and then you're going in so deep with them, meaning like it's like therapy on the street. It's like you're going into their childhood. And like that's just from a viewer standpoint, it's like, what's going to happen? What are they going to say? So not only am I going into their childhood, but I'm going into who they are now as a person and what do they do now to not to become better, but also just level out and just stay present and balanced throughout their day to day.
And did you try any other formats beforehand, or that's kind of like you just decided that's what I'm going to do, this is how I'm going to film it?
No, I think more or less it was a little different. Like I was going with a friend of mine who came out with me and filmed me being in the shop. But I noticed now that number one, I don't have to rely on anybody, but also making the person who I stop the subject of the video. So
Right.
the viewer could resonate more with the content itself.
It's more
What's-
POV. Like,
Yeah.
were a
More
lot of people
immersive.
doing that at that time, or is kind of something that you?
I think so. Yeah, I think stream interviews have been going on for a very long time, actually.
But that kind of format of just holding the phone right to them.
There was a few people that were doing it.
But you're probably like one of the earlier ones, no?
I would say so. I didn't really see, like, I was also like not new to social media, but new in the space. So I didn't discover many people compared to now where I discover like like my algorithm is prone to street interviews because that's like kind of who I follow. Like this street interviews and models. It's really where it is now.
So almost all of your videos are shot in Soho and Manhattan, right?
Yeah.
Why are they specifically in New York? And do you think, are New Yorkers confident?
So I think let's go to your first question. Why specifically New York? I was drawn to Soho ever since I got there. It was just something where it's like subconsciously it just drove me to being there for whatever reason that was. I don't know.
Right? Because you have to commute there.
Yeah. It's like about like 45-minute commute every day. So, but I love it there. And I've built such an amazing like surrounding and just friends over there. It's like you could walk there now and like, oh, what's up? What's up?
Yeah.
It's just like so cool being there.
You have your spot. Like,
So
is there a place I could find you like any day in the afternoon?
Yeah, towards the end of the day, I'm on usually Lafayette Street between like Spring and Prince. Like that's where I'm usually at.
Why is it so? Why is that the spot?
That time of the day is like it's number one, it's a more open street. There's people walking back from work, home. There's like bars in the area. There's popping. There's like a popular restaurant on Spring and Lafayette, Jack's wife Frida. But back to your second question, which was
Are New Yorkers confident?
are New Yorkers confident? I think anywhere you'll find confident people, but specifically in New York. And I think a lot of it has to do with faking it till you make it. Because not everyone's born with confidence, but how to be confident is you have to become the person that you wish to be. And I think New York is such a hustle and bustle place where people are just prone to just fake it till they make it. And that creates confident people.
And in your head, when you're going up to these people, are you thinking about, are they really confident? Are they not confident? What's going on in your head?
Now,
Yeah, when you walk up to someone.
I judge mostly on their walk and body language because I realize that energy is what sells on social media. Judging from, I don't know them. I never spoke to them in my life. So how do I see if they have good energy or not? It's usually judging on their walk and their body language. Sometimes, majority of the time I'm right, but a lot of times I'm wrong. But it's like,
You
versus
stop the
going
interview.
up.
You're like, no, you're not confident.
It happened before where I would stop someone with that walk and they'll be like, my plants make me confident. It's like,
You're like, no, they don't.
no, they don't.
If someone saw you walking, just like walking down the block on the subway, would they know that you're confident?
I mean, if you see me on the subway, I look pissed off.
You and the rest of the world.
Yeah. Please don't talk to me. I would say
Is it a confident pissed?
Do you look confident when you're pissed off?
maybe.
No one's approaching you on the subway, though, right? They're just like, stay away.
Someone DM me saying, hey, I saw you on the subway.
Mm.
It happened before.
Why didn't they just say hi? So it's crazy.
That's what I tell you. If you see me and you like my content, just come say what's up.
Mhm.
I will have a full conversation with you.
When you're on the subway, do you like have equipment? Like what equipment do you use when you're
My
filming?
bag. Over there.
Just your phone
Satchel.
and a mic?
Oh, phone and mic. Yeah. It's like a phone, a mic, super simple, simplify everything. I don't even use a computer. I don't even know how to use a computer.
Wow.
Can we
I'm
talk
being
about the
honest.
mic for a second?
Huh?
Can we talk about the mic?
Let's talk about the mic.
Your mic right now is the same one you used since the beginning, right?
No.
Not the same, but
Wrong.
you've used it for a while. Is that true?
I've used it for a few months.
What were you using before this? Really?
But this one right now has just the pink cardboard box. And
It's not a cardboard. It's a plastic.
okay, plastic,
Do your
fine.
research.
Wrong
DJ,
place.
you're getting.
And then on top, you
wrecked.
just have the exposed mic
Yeah.
with no like wind cover or anything.
That's a little
Obviously,
fuzzy.
you could go all out, get some fancy mic. What do you love about your mic right now?
I've created it. Like I bought the plain metal stick and the plastic box, and I just put my stickers on it. I had fun with it.
It's
I think
become
it's not-
iconic at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's not about the mic really. It's about just the interaction itself. The mic's there to just improve that. But I started with the iPhone 11 Pro. I remember the first time actually, I would be mid-interview, and the phone would say, "Oh, full storage." So like the video will stop.
Oh,
no.
we've been there. Yeah, it
So many
sucks.
So I would tell the viewer, me like shaking, new to the whole game, like, "Can we please redo it? Can we please redo it?" I would have to like delete like 2 other videos and like just do it. But I think going through the motions like that really allows you to appreciate where you are now.
How far were you able to get, like on Instagram and TikTok, without any equipment, just your phone?
It's only been a few months where the whole foundation was built just on a phone.
Anybody could just
Yeah.
get out there and do it.
Yeah, if you have a passion towards interactions with strangers and you would like to film it, whether you want to call it a street interview or a street conversation, where I like to call it, pick up your phone, have a topic that you may have some passion towards it, and just do it. Stop overthinking. That's only going to kill you. It's only going to get you to nowhere, because overthinking doesn't get you anywhere. It's trusting the process, trusting that this is going to help people and do good for the world, and make it happen.
It seems like when you started, you weren't so excited about the idea of walking up to people. Just confidence-wise, walking up to random people is uncomfortable. But it doesn't sound like any part of it was doubting your video making skills. But I think a lot of people do struggle with that, thinking that I'm not a content creator, so how could I just start creating content? It won't look amazing. It won't be this.
I'm not Daniel Mack. I'm not any of these creators.
Nothing looks amazing in the beginning. Things fall into place as time goes. You just have to start. I was doing like a little bit of fashion content in the beginning before I did the street interviews. So I kind of played around with the app CapCut. I kind of like, what's a cut? What's a split? Let me just shorten that a little to make the video a little smoother. You just kind of pick that up by playing around with it, just like anything. You will get better at it as you go if you consistently do it. That's why I always talk about consistency and just dedication towards your craft.
Love that. How much?
So
Yeah.
You edit on your phone also, right?
Everything on my phone, still till today. Everything is done on my phone. Nothing's crazy. It's CapCut. I just had to pay for the paid version now because I do auto captions.
Nice.
Imagine sitting there and trying to do auto
Yeah,
captions.
In
Hell
there.
no.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy the
terrible.
editing process at all?
Yeah, I love it.
'Cause
Because
I'm-
it's like, yeah.
on certain projects, like I'm really into the edit, but like there's a lot of stuff I'm just like, I love the filming part. I love directing and writing.
Right.
Editing is just such a drag.
I mean,
What about it do you enjoy?
it's therapy.
Nice.
It keeps you in you're in your box, in a bubble, and you're like, just, oh, what could I create out of this? Like, I'm excited. I'm like,
Right. You're like hyperly focused on a single task. I hear that. Yeah. I want to talk about the people who you interview on the street. So there's a lot of people who you kind of just go up in the street. I don't want to say random, but just, your typical guy. Do you like go up to them first and say, hey, could we stage me walking up, or you just walk up?
no, walk up.
You just walk up straight. I love that.
So it's as authentic. There is no time. I've noticed in the past, because I've done in the beginning where I would introduce myself first. Hey, I'm David. I do this segment on confidence, where if you would have 60 seconds to be a part of this, it would be amazing.
And that didn't work well, you're saying?
It creates a barrier because you're not getting their authentic.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed I've lost a lot of opportunity that way, because I've just now they're overthinking about it.
Right.
They're too confident. They're like, get away from me, bro.
Yeah, now it's like,
Right. It takes out the whole, like Asher said, like the authenticity of it, but like the whole tone of it is just completely different.
In general.
We do that sometimes.
But for them, it feels they almost perceive you, the creator, as being selfish at that point. They're like, if this isn't real, what are we doing right now? Like, you're just doing this to get your own views and clicks. What's the point of that?
I like that perspective. But also, I want to talk about rejection as well. If you
I was
want
going to ask, how do you deal with rejection?
You want it from the beginning, like how
From the
I
beginning.
did?
Let's do it, yeah.
In the beginning, of course, like anyone else, especially getting rejected by a stranger was a killer. I didn't know how to process it. I still remember the first time getting rejected. I think getting rejected for me for the first time was something that left me walking around the streets in Soho, not being able to approach anyone else for that day.
Like froze you up?
Huh?
Froze you up? Like why didn't you want to just like try again? Like you said you were at a
was
place.
scared.
You said you were at a place of like, I already had this incident happen in my life, and like I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah, but also you're throwing yourself out there into a world that's unknown. And now you're getting somewhat negative feedback for the first time. It could be very rough as a human who's struggled, as me, who struggled with so much on the confidence level, where getting rejected now killed me. Like, I didn't have deep down, I wanted to approach someone, but I couldn't. It was like that mental barrier in me to not letting me approach someone.
Did they say something to you? Did they just walk by?
No, I think it was an ignore.
Is that worse than when they say something?
Yeah.
It's like they don't even give you the time of day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people there's the saying, like the worst they can say is no. And like
They didn't even
it's
say
like,
no.
like the worse than that is not saying anything
Not
at
saying
all.
anything,
Because
exactly.
they completely do not acknowledge your existence.
What about getting rejected by a celebrity? Like you got rejected by Ralph Lauren, Adam Sandler, like 2 times. Like how's that?
3 times.
3 times, my bad.
He knows you at this point. He's like, stay
Not
away.
that guy. Get away.
I piss him off now.
But how's that like? Like is that worse, or like you're expecting to get rejected from a celebrity?
I mean, now getting rejected, I posted damn rejections.
Yeah, exactly.
Like in
But-
spite almost. Like
Own it.
It's inspiring to me. And I play around, I throw in my personality a little bit. Like if someone walks by me and they reject me, well, I don't exist. Like I would straight up tell them that. And they would either look back and smile or keep walking. But I always keep it polite and positive, because 9 times out of 10, the person that I'm stopping hasn't been stopped on the street that day. So they're most likely going home or that after that and looking up what makes you confident online. So I want to leave a positive, something positive for them to walk off with, versus me saying, "Oh, screw you, go this, go that."
What would you say to someone who struggles with struggles with the fear of rejection, let's say?
Stop. To really stop. I mean, I'm being as real as possible. What I did, how I got over rejection, was just thinking, if I continue it, the same thing with doing something. If I continue letting this put me down, I'm never going to get anywhere, and I'm never going to work it out. Stop being hard on yourself. Love the process. Understand that rejection is part of the process. Rejection is redirection. It will redirect you to another person who will give you the time of day and possibly give you your viral video. But if you let that rejection kill you like it did for me in the beginning, you're only left with nothing. So if you're currently getting rejected in any aspect of life right now, no matter of your age, no matter of what you're doing, rejection comes from all shapes and sizes and in all different industries. Let it go. It won't hurt you. It's not as bad as it looks. You have to be like, I'm not going to sit here and sweet talk you. Rejection is something that you just have to let go. It's try it, let go again, let go, just let go.
Simple as that.
As simple as that.
So what I want to know is, how do you find these celebrities?
So typically, being in Soho, it's 9 times out of 10 you'll bump into someone famous. But
What's considered famous? Like A-list celebrity or like?
sometimes you bump into A-list.
Why are they there? Why is everyone in
It's Soho. It's such a trendy place to be, but also by Fashion Week.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
By Fashion Week, everyone's coming to that event. They're super excited. They're dressed to the nines. And, speaking about also like Fashion Week and like why I'm here today is because building relationships. I built relationships with street photographers and just staying with them throughout the day-to-day basis. Yo, by the way, Fashion Week's coming up. I remember the first time, would you like to come? I would go with them. And now it's been like my fourth Fashion Week that I've been to, where it's amazing. You meet so many people. I look at it as now, every time I say what makes you confident, it's just market. More people know about it now.
Getting the word out there. And you give out stickers also.
Yeah.
Where your stickers end up? Like, you ever see them around?
I put them sometimes around, or people repost it on their story. Sometimes they write a cute message, or this confidence high stopped me on the street and really like brightened my day. I think that hearing that and seeing that is like, knows that, like, it tells me that I'm doing the right thing and I'm on the right path. And because we know how it is where you can get caught up in the followers and you can get caught up in comparison and XYZ, whatever. But even today, like, I do sometimes find myself comparing myself to other people, other creators. But I think I've built a mechanism now where I'm able to bounce back very quickly. And how I do that is I would go to the side somewhere where I'm not in the way of people, and I would like think for like 2-3 minutes of like, okay, this is what I've created. This is what I've done. This is the feedback I'm getting from people. And instantly I would bounce back and just be able to go back and just be even better now. I'm able to feel it and let it go versus holding it in and like being miserable.
Everyone knows you for your confidence content, for your Instagram, for your TikTok. What is there outside of that? Because obviously that takes up a couple hours of your day. What are some of your hobbies, and just what do you do when you're not making this type of content?
I think majority of my life is now it's really consists of working out, spending time with family, chilling, just having a good time, maybe getting a drink here and there, cigar.
Vibes.
But good vibes only.
Only things that you want to do in your life. Like that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I don't allow any negativity in my life. I don't allow myself to go down with the wrong people. But I typically invest a lot of my energy and time into my craft and what I'm doing. That's where, like, whether I'm editing or I'm thinking of a new idea or I'm out in the streets or I'm here, but it's typically working out, creating new content, thinking of new ideas, building new relationships, having fun, doing those little things just to make me a better person where I'm able to go and perform at the highest level.
Love that. Talking about your life, over the last few months, do you feel like your life has changed? Like, you would, like, some people, they see you and they're gonna, like, their instinct is to reject you. And then like, oh, you're the guy from TikTok. You start getting recognized a little bit. Has that changed your life a little bit? Or
For the better. Now getting recognized in the street And getting these DMs and seeing the followers go up, it made me more genuine. It made me more humble. And it just made me a better human overall. Because number one, this is who I am as a person. I know how it is to get bullied. I know how it is to not be seen. I know how it is just to be the kid in the back, not being spoken to. I don't have the stomach to give that to somebody else. How the hell am I going to go and be nasty to someone, say something, do something to somebody, and then go home and feel good about it when no one's around? It's impossible. I think people who bully people are struggling with deep insecurities about themselves. I'm not here to judge people. It's just from what I see. And like, I'm able to now flip that around and use the platform I've built to make people feel seen and just give people the time of day, whether it's a minute. And if I don't have time, I'll just, hey, thank you so much. I just really, really don't generally have time. But if I do have time, a minute or two, I would definitely give someone that. Let's say I'm walking the street today and someone stops me. I love your videos. I would stop and talk to them. Because it goes back to that point that we're not in control. For a while, I was out there in the streets thinking, okay, I need to get 20 videos today. I need to do this. I need to do that. But now it's like, take it easy. I'm out there. I'm in the right place. I have the mic ready. If I stop here for 2 minutes, and it happened to me before, I would stop and talk to somebody. And then as I'm walking and turn the block, I bump into someone, that video goes viral.
Right. Yeah.
If I didn't stop and talk to that person, I would have not ran into that person. So looking at life in that perspective makes you feel so much better.
Right.
Because you're not carrying that weight on your back. If you're someone who is not a believer in God, you don't have faith in the universe, whatever you believe in, you will not succeed. It's impossible to achieve anything greater than you if you don't have a higher power, a higher belief. Because if you don't have a higher power, a higher belief, you're carrying all that weight, all that baggage, all that ups and all the downs and everything. But if you have a higher power, belief in God, you're able to say that even the lows and the highs, it's all part of the process. It's all going to get me to where I initially want to be. So that's where I think you'll win at anything in life.
So I want to get into the challenges of doing what you do. So someone who creates content like yourself, specifically the content that you do, you deal with a lot of volume. Meaning you go, how many times a day do you go to Soho? Oh, sorry, times a week do you go to Soho? I mean,
Say Sunday, how many times a day? I wish I could go multiple times a day.
You should just live in
It's
Soho.
like Kobe going to
live
the
there.
gym 3 times a day.
If I can, I would.
it's your home.
Trust me.
Would you live in Soho?
Oh, yeah. That's my dream.
All right, let's make it happen.
We'll make it happen.
Yeah.
But you deal in a lot of volume, and you go probably multiple times a week.
About 5 times a week.
Yeah, that's crazy. And like you probably come out each day with.
2 pieces of content, yeah.
So, do you struggle with consistency to constantly go out and post?
No, I love it. I think now I love it. I don't think I've ever struggled with... I get what you're saying about like getting too much.
Like it's a lot of work, is what I'm
You
saying.
have like content that like you want to post, but like how many videos are you gonna put on your page?
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you do with those videos? Like anybody get interviewed and then DM you saying like,
Hey,
"Where's my
video?"
interview?"
Where's my interview?
Get offended.
Yeah, I believe that I have a video sitting in my phone right now that's going to get over 100 million views.
Whoa.
Like, I believe that.
What are you waiting for?
I don't know.
You're
We
gonna
asked-
know.
It's
you
a
know
good
when
flex
you know.
though. And if he posts it and it gets 100 million views, it's
He
like,
called his shot.
yeah.
It's a celebrity
I
or
find that celebrities don't do well.
Mm.
less relatable?
Less relatable.
How did that Benson Boone one do from Fashion Week?
Average views, like 500,000.
That's not a lot for you.
Sorry, Benson.
Yeah.
Sorry, but
Your
yeah.
average
I
video
thought we
gets...
look alike.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you got the.
I
you got
love
the
that. The
stash.
mustache. Yeah, that's a good bit.
When I had my hair a little longer, I
Mhm.
did. Yeah, very, very similar.
He's probably
to-
like, I look like you. No, no, I don't.
but I think it took the confidence in me to like tell him that, and he was like, I think when you have the power to be who you are and be comfortable with who you are, approaching someone of that level, because celebrities look like they think they're God, they think you're someone also like them.
Right.
Because majority, oh, Benson, can I get a picture? you're coming to them with a mic and a camera
It's a value
and then
add.
flipping it. Yo, we look alike. They have no choice.
Right, they're there. They're on camera.
I love that.
Yeah.
But I want to know, you've been crushing it with making content, getting millions of views on all of these. How do you turn that into business? How do you manage the business side of
Funny you
content
bring
creation?
that up. Recently, like all this is recent. All this exposure and following is all very, very recent. Be mindful. I'm only doing this 2 years.
Right.
All this getting a following has been like in the past few months.
Which is crazy. You've grown tremendously over the last 3 months. 3 or 2 months? What were you saying?
3 months, I think.
Yeah.
2 months, 3 months. So it's only recent now where I even spoke to you in the car about it. Maybe I spoke to you as well, where I changed my mindset into how can I build confidence heights as a business and utilize it in maybe in some clothing, maybe build a studio of some sort or a therapy session or seminars. I vision myself speaking in front of thousands of people on panels or by myself and really delivering messages and doing actions in that panel or in that speech where put two people together that never spoke before and have them have a conversation and be there to judge and watch and see, okay, they're struggling. How can I help or just let it go? Things in that nature. That's where I really vision myself the next near future, year 2 or 3.
We'll be at your TED Talk. Don't worry. We'll
Thank
be
you.
there.
Thank you.
But
I want to be in his therapy session.
one-on-one.
If you're in the front row, I'm calling you.
Let's make like a little AA for like their for confidence. I could see that really popping off.
I think so. I think it's like something that people are always going to be struggling with, unfortunately. But it's a good thing, because the fact that you're showing up to this meeting or showing up and wanting to get better, that's
In person.
in person.
Yeah.
Back to the business side of it. So I feel like a lot of people, when they're building a brand or they're trying to build something, they're constantly thinking of scaling up, bringing more people involved, more people, in their business, whatever it is. But you're doing this solo, man. Like you've built something over the past few months that is incredible, and you've done it pretty much yourself.
Yeah, pretty much myself. Yeah, like I said before, like I throw my ego in the garbage. I value relationships and good friendships and just taking advice from other people. I don't know everything. There are certain sides of the world where I don't know. That's why like I'm looking hopefully to get a manager soon. I'm in the works of that. But because when it comes to like the business side, yeah, I'm educated, but not educated in the point of scale in that. But I want to keep what I'm good at to where I'm good at.
So at this point, it's becoming clear that the creator economy, as a lot of people call it, it's real. There are real jobs where you can make real money being a content creator. Right now, you have this big audience, big following, a ton of people that love you. You're building a brand. How are you turning that into money, into an actual career that's sustainable?
So I would say right now, like for me, it's more of like TikTok creator fund, where I'm trying to get some capital from that. But also I want to collaborate with cool brands, cool people, use my platform for good reasons. But I think for anyone who has a brand or has a business and wants to scale on social media, it's all about first, if you don't have a presence, you need to build an authentic presence, show yourself more, show your struggles, show your strengths, show that stuff, be vulnerable with people because people can't connect to only good. They need to connect to also bad. How are they going to relate to you? So I think showing all that, showing the rejection, showing this, showing that, and then using that to your advantage to build a business out of it. So that's one thing. If you already have that, now it's seeing how you can get a product or not even create a product, collaborate with someone. Use your platform as an advantage to collaborate with somebody and make things happen, make money, make a product that sells. I think things along those lines could really be great.
Back to TikTok for a second. How does the TikTok Creator Fund work?
You first have to apply. I think majority of people, I don't know the exact following of you need to join, but I think majority of people.
I think it's like 10,000 or something.
Yeah?
I think so.
Yeah. So
Or 1,000 maybe. I'm not sure.
No, it's 1,000 to go live on TikTok. So I think maybe it's possibly 10,000 followers to join that. But it's videos over a minute per qualified view. So depending on the views you get.
And your videos are long and you get a lot of views because they get shared.
Yeah, so it's like typically a video that gets 1 million views. It varies because they would have to verify and qualify your RPM, I think it's called, or
Per minute?
per minute, and then they have to qualify each view. So not out of that million, it could just be like 400,000 they get qualified. It's annoying. If they
Do you
only
have any
qualify-
idea what goes into that? What makes someone qualified or not?
I
Do they
also think
say?
it's like guidelines and stuff have a big part of it, because a lot of times, like if a video is not along the guidelines, they would disclaimer. It wouldn't allow. It wouldn't be part of the creator fund. They wouldn't allow it to monetize off that.
Are you ever thinking about that when you're shooting a video? Is it like, oh, we're at 58 seconds, maybe we could get it to 60 and monetize? Or
Yeah,
they started talking about this and I'm going to get restricted or something.
Like you show me a video in the car and you're like, I like this video, but it's only like 50 seconds. I remember you
Yeah.
saying that to me.
so I don't actively think about it, but it's also like I want to make money out of this as well. Like, yeah, it's not the main thing, but I'm not an idiot. I'm human, and you gotta live. Why not turn this into a business? But it's. I find myself recording the video, and it just naturally goes into longer than a minute now.
It's hard to talk to someone for less than 60 seconds. If you ask any question,
Unless you like
Yeah.
edit it like
A meaningful
choppy
conversation,
and,
Yeah.
But like, is that something like? Are you really thinking a lot about the algorithm and like a lot of the technical stuff when you're making content, or
Not
is
much.
it just
No.
because I feel like that's a big thing with like content creators starting out, like they're binge watching like all these like YouTube videos of like, oh, latest algorithm hacks and keywords that you need to have and like hashtags you need to have and like all these things, like, oh, and if you don't do this you won't get viral, and it's like
Oh,
people
kill
like
me
you kind of
first.
like
No. I did go down that rabbit hole in the beginning, and I call it a rabbit hole because it's a bunch of BS. You need to have good content. A good video will perform good in the morning or the night.
what is good to you?
Something that provides value, entertainment, something where somebody would want to share it. Because Instagram, I think, does value shares more than anything.
Yeah, that's the biggest one.
But something that funny, you can learn, you can get someone's emotional, something that creates a reaction out of somebody. That's a piece of content that I look for. So I don't purposely, but I go into someone's childhood. I use now my personality. Excuse me, miss. Like something funny, something like, into that lines where it will create something of like, it's not that serious. It's more like fun. It's a good conversation. And like, if something doesn't feel right to me, then I don't post it.
One of the things we focus on here in the show is building an online community. And I think you're a really good example of a community when we say like an Instagram page is a community, it's a place where people can resonate with a certain message or tone. DJ can speak a lot more to this, but was that intentional that you wanted it to be a community when it started out, or did it slowly evolve into that? How, because that's what it is now. How did it get there?
Like it started with my struggles. It started just as a way to get out of my comfort zone. And I think it stems from just being authentic, and people could smell if it's real or not, So I think just the consistent growth of just being authentic, being yourself, creating good content will automatically, I think subconsciously too, will create a community. It's like you have a product, either you have the product sit or you just say, oh, buy my thing. No one will buy it. So I think just like let the people have the control of either making that decision to buy it. I think that's where people will feel better about buying it versus shoving it in their face. So same thing with social media. It's like just continue creating authenticity and good content, and over time you'll just build this community. I think that's what I did, and that's what works for me.
do you think it works for any topic? If you would have gone out and asked about, I don't know, plants, would that have worked? Or is there some part of it that's like, there has to be an audience for the type of content you're creating?
I think more or less now, I think there's an audience for everything. I think if you go onto TikTok and search up plants, you'll find people who are passionate about plants. I think plants are here, it's all over.
Good plants in this space.
Like with dogs, with animals, with cars, with confidence, with mental health, with making people happy, comedy.
Social
this, that, this.
anxiety is a whole thing on TikTok.
Yeah, I think there's a platform and an audience for everything. Just making your own twist to it. And I also think a lot of people say, I can't start this or I can't create this because it's already been done. But it's not already been done. If you're being yourself, no one can replicate you.
Talking about audiences, one of the biggest niches on any social media is fashion. And that's something that you started with. And I see it's a little less of a focus right now. Why is that?
So fashion was something that I was fashion I use as a way to express myself. This was before Confidence Size. So this was about 3 years ago. I used it as a way to express and showcase who I thought I was. But I realized down the line that it was covering up for an insecurity. And I think that insecurity was really, like for me, I would show up to here, I would show up there and use the validation I get from other people to make myself feel better and to make myself feel quote unquote more confident. So like being featured on Hypebeast or being featured on
That's cool.
this page. Yeah, it was that was very cool actually. Like
You have to look back on his page. He has some crazy fits. Crazy fits.
I deleted a lot of them on my private account.
Okay.
But it was basically, there's some still on there as well, like on my personal page. It's open as well.
Really? How do you even come up with that? It's crazy. Like jacket and this, sweater vest.
It was just like, yeah, you see inspo, but also just putting weird things together. But I think it was a point where it was getting too much, but it also happened organically where I said, you know what, my confidence is actually building for real, where I didn't need the clothing and the validation from others to make me feel better. So I think it just happened casually.
But you wouldn't call it a crutch, you're saying? Like meaning like a crutch for confidence. It was still a form of self-expression, but you felt like you wanted something more maybe intrinsic about like your take on confidence.
Yeah, I believe like something more from within, something that I can go home, not have that fit on, but also feel good. Not have to go to this wedding every other night to get some validation. Yo, I love your shoes. That would happen with me. I would go to weddings purposely just to get validation. And I'm very open about that. Like I would go here, I would go there. Oh, I would love your hair. I love the new cut. I love the new suit. I love the shoes. I love this. And that would make me feel good. But then I go home, I still feel the same. So now I don't show my face nowhere. I became a hibernation bird. I don't go nowhere.
And you don't show your face too much on your page. Do you wish you showed more of your face, more of your personality, more of yourself?
Yeah. But I think now I found a way to, number one, express myself through my stories. Also express myself through voice. Like express my energy through my how I speak and how I interact with others.
And that's probably how people know it's you.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, there are a lot of people going around interviewing in New York, but they always know it's you somehow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You're the guy from TikTok.
Yeah. Not Instagram.
Yeah.
Not YouTube. Somebody actually said, "Oh, you're the guy from YouTube." I was like,
YouTube.
I also have TikTok and Instagram.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Use you.
YouTube.
That's
Wide
funny.
reach. I have one more question, and I think we're going to be ready for our rapid fire round, who Asher is going to take on.
Buckle up.
What is the biggest lesson that you've learned about confidence since you started this journey?
The biggest lesson I've learned about confidence, that it's possible to be someone who has confidence. That if you're someone who struggles with confidence, I think putting your faith in God will speed up the process tremendously to help you feel good about yourself, to help you not carry the weight, to help you stay consistent, to help you love yourself more. Because I think being someone who's struggling and not having faith in God, now you're stuck in a hole now, and with all that weight and it's weighing you down like an anchor. There's nothing, you're not going to move. So the biggest lesson I learned from confidence was just to be happy with who you are inside, but also know that there's room for improvement and growth.
Beautiful. I love it.
Okay. Guys, ready for the rapid fire section? So,
Maybe just explain. Yeah.
So this is the rapid fire
Done.
section of our show. So I'm going to ask you a lot of questions.
yeah.
Starting easy, going a little harder.
Damn. How hard?
Not so hard. Not so hard. I went easy on you today.
Hey, yo, no Diddy.
Yeah. And yeah, so just give quick answers. Obviously we want to hear more.
You heard enough, I think.
But I want you to give quick answers, and it's a little bit of a tease for the audience about more about your life. Okay, starting off, I'm gonna actually add something to this question. So you post on multiple platforms: TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Which one's your favorite?
Instagram.
Ooh, okay. Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Okay. Talking about pets, talking about dogs. Who's the biggest dog in your life?
Me.
Nice. Big
I
dog.
like that. What's your biggest pet peeve?
People who chew loud.
Okay. I felt that for you. Best workout split?
Push-pull legs.
Okay. Who are 3 artists that you're listening to right now?
Just put it as this: SoundCloud, our remixes, EDM, house music.
I love that. Yeah, I was in the car and he's like, let's play SoundCloud. I'm like, who uses SoundCloud?
Me.
Okay. You love fashion. 3 clothing brands that you're loving right now.
Uniqlo.
I love Uniqlo. Yeah.
Maybe Nike for the shoes.
Mm-hmm.
What makes you confident?
Ooh.
Coming soon.
Guys,
Nice.
gotta watch the
Stay
merch drops.
tuned.
Yeah. Who is the most confident person you ever met? You meet a lot of people. Who's the guy? Who's the person?
Everyone's confident in their own way.
Okay.
Dodged that nicely.
Yeah.
Well done, Mr.
This is good. It's good.
Politician.
It's a good.
That's a good
cop-out.
answer.
If you could talk to anybody for 5 minutes, who would it be? And will you get the opportunity to talk to them?
I would speak to Gary Vee, to be honest.
Ooh.
I spoke to Ryan Stern already. I don't speak to Gary Vee.
You know where to catch him?
Gary?
Yeah.
Hudson Yards?
Oh. Have you caught him yet, or have you tried?
No.
If you could talk to yourself right before you posted your first video, what would you tell yourself?
Keep going.
Were there any times you wanted to quit?
Multiple.
Ooh. And then here's the heavy hitter, the last question. What's one thing that you could tell us today that you've never said to like anybody publicly or like to an audience publicly?
I used to curse people out after I got rejected.
I love that. All right. You crushed it in the rapid fire round. It was a little slow, but
It was good.
it's good questions. Yeah.
Very good. All right. So last question we have for you, David, is if all your followers were sitting in a room with you, what would you tell them?
It's going to be okay.
I love that.
It's going to be okay. And we'll all get through this together. We're all part of this community together. Nobody's judging you as much as you think they are. Everybody has their own insecurities, including me. And together we'll just make the world a more confident place, We'll become better selves, better people. And hoping that everyone in this room could take something upon themselves to make them better, but also make the world a better place, because we need that.
Also, I couldn't agree more.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.
This was awesome.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you so
great
much
to
for
have you
having
on.
me, guys. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much.
Thank you,
problem.
guys. And thank you to everyone listening. And if you want to stay tuned for our latest episodes, make sure you do so. All right. That's a wrap, guys. Thank you so much.
Awesome. That's great.